Hi there, welcome back to the Magic the Gathering Learn to Play video series. I'm Sam.
And I'm Dylan. This is part 2, the 5 colors of mana. In this video, we're going to learn about mana, what it is, what it's used for, and the 5 different colors of mana.
Now, as we learned in part 1, Magic's all about dueling your opponent by casting spells. And the goal of Magic is to reduce your opponent's life total to 0 while making sure he or she doesn't do the same to you.
Players begin the game at 20 life. To start reducing your opponent's life, you're going to need to know how to cast spells. Some of these spells might summon fearsome creatures to fight for you. Others uncover timeless treasures, or unleash powerful arcane forces.
And still, others are going to let you bend the very rules of the game. In fact, that's a pretty common theme with Magic. We'll set up some rules for you, and the cards let you do the unexpected.
Now, to cast spells, you rely on a magical energy called mana. In the world of Magic the Gathering, there are 5 different colors of mana, each represented by its own symbol. As you can see here.
Each color represents different attributes or strategies you can use throughout the game. Let's take a closer look at what those are. First up is white. White is the color of order, protection, and a real army mentality. White's all about the team. Next up is blue. Blue's strengths are manipulation and deception. Blue prefers to engage in mind games rather than rely on brute force.
And that brings us to black. Black likes to win at all costs. It doesn't matter what or who you have to sacrifice, as long as you can emerge victorious. Moving to red, we have the color of emotion and passion. Red wants you to stop thinking and start smashing things. And finally, we have green, the color of nature, life, and growth. Green relies on large creatures. Bigger is better.
So, these symbols represent the mystical mana that you must use to cast your spells. But where does it come from, and how do we get it?
Well, it comes from a type of Magic card called a land. There are many types of lands in Magic, and if a card is a land, it'll say so around the middle of the card. There are 5 types of basic land cards, one for each color.
Your plains will produce white mana, your islands will produce blue mana, your swamps for black, your mountains for red mana, and finally, forests for green. During the game, you'll be able to play one land during each of your turns. So, as the game progresses, you'll gain access to more and more mana, letting you cast more powerful spells. Let's take a look at that Serra Angel I traded for in the last video.
Magic cards that aren't lands will have mana symbols in their upper right-hand corner. This is the mana cost, and just like it sounds, it tells you how much mana is required so you can pay for and cast the spell. Starting from the right of the card, you will first see 2 white mana symbols. Now, you know that plains produce white mana, so having 2 plains will help cast Serra Angel. However, there is another mana symbol in the mana cost, a 3.
On many Magic cards, you'll see a symbol like that 3. It's going to be a black number in a gray circle. This symbol means that you're going to need more mana, in this case, 3 more. But this mana can be any color. So, if you have 2 plains and any 3 other lands, you'll be able to cast Serra Angel. So now that we know how to read mana costs, let's put it all together and cast that Serra Angel. But to do this, we'll need to learn how to produce the mana by tapping our lands.
Planeswalkers form a bond with the lands they visit. In the game, that's represented by playing the land cards. When you need mana from that land, you have to draw from that bond to access it. In the game, we call that tapping. To tap a card is to turn it 90 degrees. This shows that it's used for the turn, but on your turn, you get to untap all your tapped cards by returning them to their original orientation.
You don't have to tap all of your lands each turn though. You only tap the cards you need when you need them. So to cast my Serra Angel, I'll tap 2 plains to take care of the white mana symbols. Then 3 more lands. In this case, another plains and 2 islands. That'll finish paying the mana cost. And now, we've cast a spell. The Serra Angel is ready to fight for us. So now we know how to cast spells. But when should we cast them? And why? And what happens to these spells after we cast them? We'll start answering some of these questions in part 3. See you there.